your beats. Where you get your beats? HustleDreamProduction.
Alright you guys, so my client wanted to cut off all of his hair and he basically wanted a drop fade. So what I'm going to do right now is take out the rubber band that he has in the back, and basically I'm going to start by just cutting the bulk off of the top. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take my shears and I'm just going to basically cut everything down close. That way I could, you know, shape it to where it's in a drop fade like shape. Alright you guys, so of course I wash the hair after I finish cutting because you want to make sure the hair is nice and clean as much as possible. So I'm going to take the shears and shape my client's afro just a little bit more, not really caring on how much I take off the sides because I'm fading the sides anyway. So I'm just going to take it down to a length where it's manageable. So now that I have everything taken down on the sides, I'm just going to take my 2-guard with the lever open with my Endless cordless masters, and I'm basically just going to debulk the sides into a drop fade like shape. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to close the lever on my Endless cordless masters and run my clippers straight up, basically shaping the afro at the top into the direction that I want it to go in, which is more so a high top shape. So through the whole process, I will be shaping the top as I go. At the time, I'm not sure how low my client wanted his hair on top. I just knew that he wanted curls. So basically, I'm gonna take it slow, make sure that I'm at the right length where it curls best. So before you actually start the fading process, what you want to do is brush the hair down, make sure everything is laid in place before you actually start cutting. So now when it comes to setting in my guidelines for my drop fade, I'm going to set in my bald line using my Babyliss FX trimmers, and I'm going to drop it in the back, making sure that this line is nice and neat. I'm not going to be pressing too hard. I don't want to leave a harsh guideline, so make sure that you are very light with the touch when you set in your guideline. Next, I'm gonna make the bottom half razor bald using my Stylecraft Rebels. These shavers are dope. All right, this is my first time using them, and they cut a lot quicker than your normal average shavers. So make sure you guys pick this up. Make sure you follow Stylecraft on Instagram. Now that I have the bottom half razor bald, I'm gonna go and use my cordless fast feeds with the lever fully open, and I'm gonna go up about a ½ inch, making sure that I go over the guidelines multiple times. That way it ensures that it's at that length. Now switching with the one guard with the lever open, basically the same exact thing. I'm going up about a ½ inch, going over the guidelines multiple times to ensure that it's at that one guard length, making sure I comb the hair down at that parietal ridge area, so that way I can make sure that the guideline is as neat as possible. So if you guys are wondering how do barbers get rid of that line that kind of is at the parietal ridge area, what you do is comb the hair down and go with the grain with the one guard closed or even the one guard open. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking my one guard with the grain and basically just going down at the parietal ridge. All right, this basically hides that line that you would get if you were just going in setting the guideline on a high top. So make sure that you go down with the grain at the parietal ridge to prevent from having that harsh line. Next, with the two guard with the lever open, I'm going to debulk that top area, but I'm not going all the way up to the parietal ridge. I'm just staying right below it because what we lay down with the one guard, you don't want to kind of cut that out. So make sure you keep that two guard below the parietal ridge. Now going back with the one guard with the lever open, this time in a flick out motion, flick out that line between the 1 and the 2. All right, this is where it's good to have a 1.5 guard, but if you don't have a 1.5 guard, the flick out motion will do. Just stay below the line, flick to the line, and if you need to go up, put on the 2 guard closed. Now closing the lever on that one guard, in a flick out motion, flick out that middle line. Now, what's gonna happen is it's not gonna take out the line totally. It's just gonna lighten it up a little bit. That way it'll be easier for you to take it out with the next step. What I do with fading, I like to take baby steps, and I don't like to rush the process. So be patient and just kind of take those baby steps if needed. Now putting on the zero guard with the lever fully closed in a flick out motion, flick out that middle line. Now it's going to be way easier for you to take it out now that it's lightened and softened up. So remember, start below the line, flick to the line, and if you need to use your corners and to focus on one thing at a time, make sure you use your corners throughout this whole process. Now with the lever fully closed in a flick out motion, flick out that bottom line, start below the line, flick to the line. If you need to adjust your lever or go any higher in the blend, adjust your lever as you go up. Detailing is the most important part to your blends. This is where I like to look away from the blend for a second, come back. But if you have a mirror, I would suggest utilizing your mirror, because the mirror shows you a different perspective on the blend that you wouldn't just see head on. All right, so make sure you utilize that, get in between those bulk areas and use those different guards where you set in your guidelines. You should know each level of where you set in your guidelines. Just go back with those different guards and just kind of knock out those areas using your corners. So like I said, throughout this whole process, I'm going to be shaping the top, making sure that I cut it down to the proper length where my client wants it. I'm going to be shaping the entire top, making sure that the sides are nice and neat. To do to give my clients a crispy lineup, as I like to basically do exactly what I did on the sides, bring some of that hair down and go with the one guard with the lever closed and just kind of knock those hairs off so it can lay down, so I can line it up and it can have a crispy straight line. Listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in the full 360, and they come out looking like,
damn, son, we make it look easy.
YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, Hustle Dreams Production, that's my brother, he does all my beats. His